How a $500 startup became a 5 million business in 2019. A 28-year-old woman started a business with $500, a second-hand sewing machine, and an Instagram page with 11 followers. 5 years later, that business was generating $5 million in annual revenue, supplying custom uniforms to corporate clients across 7 U.S. states, and employing 34 people. She did not have a business degree. She did not have investors. She did not have connections. What she had was a clear understanding of her numbers from day one and a refusal to scale faster than her cash flow could support. Today, we are going to break down exactly how that happened, the financial decisions, the turning points, and the 3 moves that took her from $500 to $5 million, and what you can take from her story into your own business today. Welcome to the Plain Business Network. I am Obioma, an accounting consultant who has spent 15 years studying what makes small businesses grow and what makes them collapse. Today we studied one that grew. Today is day 1, session 2. We are in the month 1 foundation phase. This session belongs to the entrepreneurish and startup stories pillar. By the time this 30 minutes is done, you will understand the 3 financial decisions that separate businesses that scale from businesses that stall, and you will have one move to make in your own business before tomorrow. Drop your name and where you are joining from in the comments. Let us build this room together. If you were in our first session today, welcome back. If this is your first time in the room, you joined at the right moment. This story is going to stay with you. Tell me in the comments, what did you start your business with? Or if you have not started yet, what is stopping you? Drop it in the comments right now. Be honest. Whatever number you just typed, $500, $200, nothing yet, someone started with less and built more. The number is not the story. The decisions are the story. Let us get into it. Most people think the difference between a $500 business and a $5 million business is access to capital. They think the people who scale big started with more money, more connections, or more luck. That belief keeps more people small than any lack of funding ever did. The real difference is financial decision-making, specifically 3 decisions that compounding businesses get right and stalling businesses get wrong. Before we go into the story, let us define 2 terms you will hear throughout this program. Cash flow is the movement of money in and out of your business, not profit. Movement. A business can be profitable and still run out of cash if the timing of money coming in does not match the timing of money going out. Profit margin is the percentage of your revenue that remains after you pay all your expenses. If you earn $10,000 and spend $7,000 running the business, your profit margin is 30%. Both of these numbers matter enormously in the story we are about to study. Here is what the $500 to $5 million journey actually looked like financially. Year 1, she made $18,000 in revenue from local orders. Her expenses were $11,000. Profit margin 39%. She did not celebrate by upgrading her lifestyle. She hired 1 part-time helper. She kept her own salary at $24,000 below what the business could technically afford because she prioritized growth over comfort. Year 3, a corporate client gave her a $200,000 contract. She did not take a loan to fulfill it. She negotiated a 40% upfront payment from the client and used that to fund production. By year 5, the business had 7 corporate accounts and 34 employees. She never took outside investment. She grew on cash flow discipline alone. There is an African adage: the person who wants to eat honey from a rock must not be afraid of the sting. Every financial decision she made had a sting attached to it. Keeping her salary low stung. Reinvesting instead of spending stung. Negotiating upfront payment from a corporate client felt uncomfortable and bold. But every sting produced honey. The businesses that scale are not the ones that avoid the hard financial decisions. They are the ones that make them anyway. Write down your current profit margin today. Take your last month's revenue, subtract everything you spent to run the business, divide the remainder by the revenue, and multiply by 100. That percentage is your profit margin. If you do not know it, finding it is your move before the next session. Sandra from London says, "This is so inspiring. I have a small catering business, but I keep spending the profit before I can reinvest." Sandra, you just diagnosed your own problem, and that is actually a strength. Most business owners do not even know that is what they are doing. The fix is a simple rule: before you touch any profit, move a fixed percentage directly into a business savings account the same day it arrives. We will talk about the exact percentage in an upcoming session. But you are closer to the solution than you think. Sandra, you just diagnosed your own problem, and that is actually a strength. Most business owners do not even know that is what they are doing. The fix is a simple rule: before you touch any profit, move a fixed percentage directly into a business savings account the same day it arrives. We will talk about the exact percentage in an upcoming session. But you are closer to the solution than you think. Diane from Atlanta says, how did she have the confidence to negotiate upfront payment from a big corporate client? Diane, it was not confidence, it was necessity dressed up as strategy. She could not fulfill a $200,000 order without cash in hand. So she asked, and they said yes. Most business owners never ask because they assume the answer is no. The corporate world is more flexible than you think when you are offering genuine value. James from Houston says, Obioma, not everyone can keep their salary low like she did. I have rent and family to feed. James, you are absolutely right, and this is not a template to copy blindly. It is a principle to adapt. The principle is this: whatever percentage of profit you can protect from lifestyle spending and redirect into growth, protect it. Even if it is 10%, even if it is 5%, the amount is less important than the habit. Start where you are. Scale the habit as the business scales. You are asking the right questions. That tells me you are thinking like a business owner and not just a worker. Keep that energy. U.S. Small Business Optimism Index rose for the third consecutive month in early 2026, driven by increased consumer spending and stabilizing interest rates. More small business owners are feeling confident about growth this year, and consumer spending, the money ordinary people are putting into the economy, is supporting that confidence. This is a good environment to acquire new clients and launch new offers. If you have been waiting for the right time to make a business move, the economic signals are currently in your favor. Pull up last month's numbers right now. Total revenue minus total expenses equals your net profit. Divide net profit by total revenue. Multiply by 100. That is your profit margin percentage. Write it down and keep it somewhere visible. Why it matters: you cannot improve a number you are not measuring. Every business decision you make from this point forward should be tested against its effect on that margin. That is your plain business move for today. Recap line. Today we studied how a $500 startup became a $5 million business through 3 financial disciplines: reinvestment over lifestyle, cash flow protection over rapid scaling, and strategic negotiation over dependence on loans. In our next session, we are going to talk about how the U.S. economy actually works and why what happens in Washington and on Wall Street affects the money in your small business account. Trust me, once you see the connection, you will never ignore economic news again. Subscribe to the Plain Business Network right now and share this session with one entrepreneur in your circle who needs to hear this story. In our next session, we are going to talk about how the U.S. economy actually works and why what happens in Washington and on Wall Street affects the money in your small business account. Trust me, once you see the connection, you will never ignore economic news again. Subscribe to the Plain Business Network right now and share this session with one entrepreneur in your circle who needs to hear this story. I am Obioma, real money, real business, plain language. See you next session. Up next is how the U.S. economy works and why it affects your business.